go again. So we're actually doing 3 parts to this series.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to say and we're in the flow.
Well, and we get so many questions about this, and you've been getting more clients related to this.
Yeah.
So it's probably time we ought to address it. So go for it. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say.
She's saying, okay, let's talk about a
because I kind
possession
of want to
story.
go la 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 la.
And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to take it really slow again, but a little more interesting.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Yes.
I don't know. Interesting's the word. It's like scary, kind of like when you don't get an opportunity to talk about this stuff every day, and then I hear some of your stories. It kind of rattles me. I gotta tell you, and it makes me rethink everything I've ever thought to be true. So,
all right.
yeah.
So, I had a client come in, and his problem was drinking. He could not stop for the life of him. He tried and was doing everything else healthy in the life, but drinking was just nothing. And he was seeing me, and we're doing different types of sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And really interestingly, during this one session, which is just a beam therapy, well, beam therapy is pretty powerful, so it's not just. But while we were working on him, and we're just sitting across from each other, all of a sudden, this being walked out of him. He felt it. I felt it. I knew it was there. I didn't think it was going to come out that quick.
Wait, he felt it?
He felt it step out of him. Now, I saw his concern, and last thing I ever want is my clients to be scared. So I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm ignoring what just happened. He's looking at me, and I'm just being all calm. So we continue with the
But you were freaking out on the inside?
No, I
don't.
No. I don't freak out. This is nothing.
Most people would.
I'm just thinking, okay, how am I going to keep him calm? Because he felt it. Sometimes clients don't feel when these things walk out, but he was very sensitive. He noticed it. So I'm just trying to hold the space so he doesn't freak out.
So these things walk out. So now we're talking about spiritual attachments. We're talking about darkness. We're talking
about... this
about...
is more of an entity, like a possession.
Like a possession.
He had a possession. All right. So what we did indirectly was an exorcism. And interesting, I would call it a medium to low possession. It was not totally destroying his life. This possession he picked up liked to drink. Gave him that desire for drinking. So he's doing all these things right in his life, but he can't stop drinking. Fast forward. He leaves. Session's great. He doesn't mention anything. I don't want to tell him. He then, interesting, calls me back. He's like, I went home and I didn't go for the scotch.
Wow.
I didn't need an alcoholic drink. Funny, that night, because I didn't think that session was that dramatic, I usually, back then, I was a little bit lax and I wouldn't always do a clearing afterwards.
Like clearing your space?
Yeah,
your house?
usually nowadays I'm very, very diligent. I clear my space every time, no matter if I thought it wasn't that bad. So that night I didn't clear right away. And strangely, I started having desires to drink. Nothing, it didn't jump into me, but it's in the air. And I haven't drank in a long time. I don't need to drink anymore. But somebody's saying, yeah, it doesn't just... I'm just like, straight. Then I realized the entity that released was in my space. So I then went back to work to clear that. All right. Then I had a chat with the client. Now, this client's a very anxious client. Like, things scare him easily. So I had to just gently say, hey, during that session, did you feel anything different? He's like, yeah, didn't you feel like something? So I talked to him in a very gentle way that he could understand that he had a possession that was giving him desires to drink. It actually released in that session, and that's why he doesn't have the desire anymore.
Wow.
And he was like, okay, that makes sense. Why am I a little creeped out by that? But I'm not creeped out, because he's like, that makes sense. His life changed after that.
Wow. But Brenda, there's like a lot of people doing things out there in the world that hurt their lives. So drinking, all kinds of bad habits. Are you saying that this is common?
I believe it's much more common than people believe, or people know. Maybe they don't believe it because they don't know about it.
Yeah.
I believe there's a lot of people who are sex addicts, drug addictions, alcoholics,
like mental health too.
Mental health, yes. And this is the touchy point, and don't yell at me, I believe a lot of the mental health issues we're having are due to spiritual attachments, possessions, dark magic. And a lot of my clients actually have gone to professional services, I won't name where they are, told they have depression, anxiety, are given pills and bled out. And somehow they end up on my doorstep. And after working with these people, there is a foreign negative interference that we release and they get back to normal. I'm not saying this work is for everyone, but if you've exhausted all avenues, or if you feel that in your heart, like, yes, because sometimes our inner being will say, yes, this is your problem.
Yes.
Come see me. We do something called an exorcism with love. It's not scary. It's not like the movies, or I'm not yelling and screaming at things.
No.
We can do that if people want, but I don't work that
No.
way, because look how easy they can come out. Now, sometimes there are cases where there are demonic beings in the house. The person has a high level demonic being, sometimes 3 or 4 in their field, that are asking them to cause harm to themselves and others. Those are severe cases. I do work with them, but they are in a completely different category with black magic.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of prep work I need to do. I need my partner's assistance for protection. There's the clearing of the entire family, the house, and all that stuff. It comes with a price tag, and it comes with a lot of energy, and I need to take a few days afterwards to recover.
Yeah.
But we have some beautiful stories of families doing a 180 shift.
Yeah, that's remarkable, because when some of those families like that you've talked about have tried everything, and their life just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Like, they are actually looking now for a miracle. And so I think what you were able to offer them was something like that, because it's quite, like, these stories are true and they are alarming. And really hard to believe, because you have to kind of toss out everything else that you ever thought was true to start to believe that this kind of stuff exists, not just in Hollywood, and that there's somebody that can help you.
Yeah, and it's I always think it's divine intervention that these people find me. And for people to trust someone like me who doesn't know who I am, or it's scary for them, because they're actually told from their possessions that I'm the evil one that's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
So it's, getting them here to do the work. I can do the work remotely, but when someone's living in a haunted house, that house, the demonic energy in the house is not going to let them to have a session. Either something's going to get in the way, there's going to be interference. So we bring them here. And sometimes it's talking to family members, please bring them here, because they're going to try to run this and this. But afterwards, the transformation, like I had this one person say, I haven't felt myself in 10 years like this. This is who I was. And, and sometimes it was black magic or possession, and black magic can give you possessions, and it can get to a whole different playing field and understanding. So people who get help don't necessarily understand how, what, when, who, what, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But what they do understand is, I wanted to jump off a cliff or hurt myself. And today I'm in loving life and feeling more myself.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're healing one person at a time. We're healing families at a time.
It's such a gift to hear about and to see and to watch. So thank you for what you do, and for doing it with respect and kindness for people. Is there somewhere people can get more information about this?
I don't have anything on my website for that deeper work. Just reach out to me and have a chat. I've started to put out some videos. I may put on my website, if you're dealing with darker issues, click here, which is going to bring you somewhere else. The reason I don't put it out there that easily is because it scares people, and then they might not want to come for just a regular upbeat session. One thing I want everyone to know, my house is cleared right after every session. I learned my lesson. Even if
More than once. It took you longer.
Actually, I'm pretty stubborn, so like, oh yeah, that one wasn't so bad. Then later on, it's like, okay, we got an issue. So because we do have a lot of pets on the property, and some actually, they can harm our pets. We right after a client goes, there's a very deep cleaning of the house. So this house and this land is high energy. We keep it that way. It is full of love and light.
Yeah. If you're curious like I am, give Brenda a call. Your first call is free, to talk to her about any issues you have in your life. And if you want to learn more, there's lots on her website at sobrilliant.ca. But as you can see, she's so easy to talk to. So if you are stuck, if you are struggling, if you know somebody who is stuck and struggling, give her a call. It's really nice to have coffee with Brenda.